なんだこれは。
What up guys, AKIRA Mode, and welcome back. It's 2020. So this year we're gonna start doing more crazier and awesome and unique out the box projects. That's what I'm always trying to push. With that being said, I was actually at Hobby Lobby, and now sometimes, you know, when I'm buying something and walk around, I run into something else, and I found this particular item and an idea popped. It's a styrofoam ball. Look, it's separated and it's like really condensed foam. So this is different. This is the same thing that, like, if you don't know what you're doing, you could chip off and it starts looking like popcorn. But yeah, but my idea is, if y'all have been watching my show, y'all know that one of my favorite anime is Akira. So in the movie, Akira is no longer alive. Akira now is, you know, got dissected and was placed into all these jars, frozen into a capsule to keep his remains intact for future studies. So Tetsuo actually goes to a stadium where they keep him hidden and in safekeeping, and Tetsuo finds it and he surfaces it and he breaks into it and he realizes, like, what the heck? Akira is a whole bunch of remains. So made me think about building a prop that is the capsule. There's an Instagram, go check this guy out. His name is Otomo Chaser. This guy, if you're into Akira, this guy hacks all the frames of the movie. Like, the guy has copies of each frame and like the studies and the artwork and all this stuff. This guy has it, right? So he was cool enough to talk to me, and he provided me those specific drawings of this capsule. And so I'm gonna be using that as reference. Now, this is, I really don't know how I'm gonna go about it, besides the first thing I'm thinking about is drawing it. First thing is just drawing the whole thing, and then figuring out how does this foam behave. So I want to see if I need a specific tool to actually start making those outlines. There's a lot of circular patterns. So I got one of these guys. I really don't know how to call this, but, you know, put it in the middle, you make a cool circle. This is gonna help me out. So far that's my plan. Just to draw the patterns, use this tool, figure out how I'm gonna create the embossing of it, and then if it comes out great, paint it, you know what's up, and then turn this into the prop of the capsule for my Akira collection. And that's what today's project's about. It's outside the box, it's different, no one's done it, so let's do it. Okay, so this is the actual frame, and as you can see, look at all these circular details. So, and then this is the inside. This is where all the capsules are in, and it's like in this, like this part, and there's a interesting cut in the middle. So that's gonna be this little divider right here. Okay. So I'm gonna be using this as reference just to keep them intact. Okay. Cool. So I actually bought this. I really don't know the technical name for this thing, but I used this before in drafting class. Put the pointer down and you could draw perfect circles. Okay. So what I'm trying to figure out here is how I'm gonna go about understanding the locations of these circles. So I'm going off first by this guy right here, where he has like a little bit. He's like a little overlap. Okay. What I'm doing here is that I'm just trying to make sure that I remember that this guy is this guy right here. Just being observant and trying to capture as much detail as you can. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing. I finished adding all the details. Okay. The pencil was more than enough to engrave it. I guess next up what I'm gonna go into is outlining the important details in black, probably. So as you can see, I'm starting to outline it in black. So all I'm gonna do, just do that and then decide on how I'll paint the rest of it. So. Alrighty, so it's I finished drawing the details. It took me in total, good 3 hours to do all this penmanship right here. Okay. So besides drawing the details, it's also embroidering the imprint. Okay. And now what I'm gonna try to do now is I'm thinking about using Hodgepodge to seal it. Now Hodgepodge is a glue, but it's also like a matted sealer or finish, so that will protect the foam, but also it will protect the penmanship. And the reason why I want to protect it is because I'm eventually gonna paint it, spray paint it, kind of like a light gray to give it that metallic look. But you know, if you spray paint, it's gonna eat the foam. So, and this is supposed to be like a metallic like capsule, so I don't need any like rust or any like deterioration. So my train of thought to protect this is just to add the Hodgepodge and then go paint it. So let's do it. Doing some research and I'm noticing that the inside has a special towel padding. So what I'm doing is I don't have the real proper way to actually do this grid, so I cut a square and I'm literally drawing square by square. It's coming out pretty good though. But yeah, the whole interior is supposed to look like a grid, and that's where they keep the jars nicely cool. So that's what I'm working on right now. They are actually, the glue in the exterior part is actually like completely hardened. I did work on the inside part now, providing the details of this mesh tiles. So that's kind of what I did. But right now, I did put another Hodgepodge coat inside of it to protect it. Still drying, as you can see. But as that's going on, I'm gonna work on the exterior. I added a light coat of just regular matted white, just one coat, nothing strong, and then I went over it with the transparent white, and it gave it the layers very gently, where you're still able to see the darkness from the outline, but now it's more of a gray tone, so it dulled it down. So now the outline is not so overpowering. Now it's more of a light gray, and it really came out pretty cool. I'm actually pretty satisfied with that. So now I could just go about now adding the actual details, adding different colors, just kind of bringing in some of the mechanical aspects of it, and then also paint the interior as well.
Rest policy. What? But the bloodstained.
Alright, while I was drawing, I'm gonna start working on some of the details. So I'm gonna start outlining this outer part red. Alright, so now I'm gonna start working on the details. So, been drawing for the past maybe 15-20 minutes. So this is kind of the direction I'm going. Alrighty. So, now that I got the details all done, a couple things I want to do. Well, obviously I want to seal what I just drew, but before I seal that, I'm gonna start doing some dry brushing. So then I'm using right here is silver, and I already started off camera, but you can see this area is very white. It looks really good. But now I'm adding a silver dry brush, and now it's giving me a metallic kind of shade right here. That's not overpowering the white, but it's giving the surface a little bit more shimmer, gives it a little bit more character. So that's what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna dry brush the rest of it, and you can see the difference right here. Let me see if I can focus on that. So you can see the difference right here. See, it's super white, and you got some details right there. Alright, it's done, guys, and here it is. This is Akira's capsule. I know it's probably not the right word. It's more of a refrigerator that's keeping these jars of Akira's remains because he got dissected, intact. So some people call it cryo state. So this is kind of like more of a refrigerator that's keeping these jars intact. And Tetsuo finally discovers it, opens up the capsule, and he finds all the jars inside. So yeah, so what I ended up doing was to give it that like it's a refrigerator. It opened up and all this smoke is coming out, so I'm using regular cotton balls. I'm stretching them all out. Got these little jars to imitate the jars from the movie where Akira's body parts are all being contained in different jars. And but yeah, I mean it was not a crazy build. I don't want to say it was simple because the hardest part of this was the actual drawing of the details of the capsule. Almost like a metal container, but also almost like an in-between between like a NASA, like a Death Star, like a R2-D2 type of finish. But yeah, here it is. Again, this build was just me kind of stepping out of my comfort zone, playing with new materials and coming up with new concepts. Besides just doing dioramas. Dioramas are definitely creates a scene, but also there's important parts of a scene that creates that scene as well. With the way I presented this, I'm recreating the scene of him opening up this capsule and realizing that Akira is no longer a human, but he's in these jars. So, alright guys, so yeah, that's it. This is the Akira capsule with Tetsuo. I hope you guys learned something new from this video. Guys, feel free to write a comment, hit that like button, and if you haven't yet, hit subscribe. Alright guys, peace.